Well, it looks like Mr. Bonecrusher can't shut his mouth again. He said that he said this the court case was about the First Amendment and freedom of speech. Okay. First of all, you have the right to freedom of speech. Everybody has that right. Everybody has the right to freedom of speech. But when you're like Lynette and yourself and the two fleas, your freedom of speech becomes defamation. It's not about freedom of speech. Now, it may be, but Michelle and John used their freedom of speech for defamation, and that's why he's being sued. Said he. Oh, he said that he actually said that the protection order takes away that right. Well, you know what? If Michelle and John would have cease and desist when they got that cease and desist letter, none of this would be going on. They're the ones that keep doing this. They're the ones that keep running their mouth and they keep getting found in contempt of court. He said that the federal civil case and said it had to do with a dispute in Otter Creek. Well, part of that is true, but you're not looking at it from Jeremy's side. You're not looking at it from Jeremy's side. Jeremy didn't say nothing to these people. Michelle went and tried to grift money from Jeremy, and Jeremy said no. And that's when all this started. And it kept up, and it kept up, and it kept up, and it kept up, and Jeremy didn't say anything. He didn't say anything. When it got worse, that's when he filed the protection order. He tried to get it in Florida, but couldn't get it because of some circumstance. Took all the evidence and went to and talked to his attorney in Ohio. They went to a judge in Ohio and got the protection order. He actually said that BBB's family said BBB did not well, in other words, he's saying that he dropped out of the case because his family was threatened and his wife's employer was called. First of all, I know anybody that's on our side, Jeremy Hales' side, would never do that. Oh boy. Went on about this guy is just a babbling old fool sometimes. Sometimes my handwriting is not as good. Said BBB submitted video on the motion. Well, the thing is, the judge already said, I do not want to hear about YouTube. I do not want to hear about YouTube. I want to hear the facts, the real facts. BBB filed 14 pages of garbage. He should have stopped. The only motion that he should have filed was the reason why he didn't show up for court when he was supposed to on April 3rd. He filed that part in the beginning, but then 13 pages of garbage, trying to relitigate the whole case again. That's not what the judge wanted. He just wanted him to file a motion why you didn't show up for court and why sanctions shouldn't be brought against you for it. Oh, he went on about Mrs. Matskin's school and schedule and all that. It's public information. If that information was received, it's public. Said LP and JC dismissed them from the case. Yeah, probably because he wasn't doing the case any good. See, the whole thing about this is, it's BBB. This whole thing is about BBB, trying to drag this entire case out, trying to drag this stuff out to cost Jeremy money. That's all it was to drain Jeremy of all his money. Said that he said that there was witness intimidation. BBB is the one that intimidated witnesses, threatening them, if you don't go on my side, I'm going to sue you. Claimed the judge intimidated. He said that the judge intimidated BBB. Alright. So, the judge didn't intimidate BBB. He was told, both of them were told about their behavior in court and said that if you continue, I will lock you up. The judge was being a judge and doing his judicial duty. It wasn't intimidation. Said if LP and JC could not find a lawyer to represent them, they would be in a whole other side of the scale of justice. Don't know what that means exactly, but I guess what he's saying is the scales of justice are tilting towards Jeremy. And it should. Jeremy has all the proof, the receipts, everything. You all seem to think that they're innocent private citizens. John and Michelle are the ones that started all this. It wasn't Jeremy. But you're all brainwashed because you got your head up the two fleas' ass and you believe all the lies that they say. He said that the whole thing was unfair. Said the federal court system turned a blind eye to of a private citizen. First of all, Michelle is not a private citizen. She ran for a public office. So that does not make her a private citizen. She puts her stuff, she puts her photos and all that stuff on a public platform, like Facebook. I call it Facebook. She has a YouTube channel with her picture, with videos of her and the little girl. And the avatar on that YouTube channel is a picture of the little girl. How can you be a private citizen when you're posting pictures of yourself and the little child on Facebook and YouTube? He said Lisa had he had said that Lisa had an opposite view of Jeremy. Yeah, she defames him. Somewhere down the line, there is some kind of hate that started between Jeremy and Lisa Flea. I can't put my finger on it. But for 8 months now, it's been nothing but defamation. The two Fleas attacked everybody. They attacked Megan, they attacked Tug, they attacked everybody. Because their channel is a hate channel. And they use their freedom of speech to defame people. Said the tipping of the scales of justice on a poor family who didn't have the money to fight back in the case. Well, like I said before, if they would have ceased and desisted, if they wouldn't have stalked Jeremy to Otter Creek, none of this would have happened. But they kept running their mouth and running their mouth and running their damn mouth. So it's you, John, and you, Michelle, are the ones that started all this. And then he said he didn't want to hear about they brought this on themselves. Yes, they did bring it on themselves. They are the ones that started all this. Jeremy didn't say anything to them. They brought it on themselves. And then when they got a cease and desist, they kept running that mouth and kept defaming him and doing all this stuff to him. Sir, you are wrong. But you see, you believe the lies of the two Fleas. Shame on you, Mr. Bonecrusher. I would think a man of your age would know the difference between right and wrong. Obviously, you don't. And by the way, you have the right to remain silent, but unfortunately, you just don't have the ability. But that's just my opinion. Everybody have a good day now.